A very warm welcome. And would you believe, Robbie Earle and Robbie Mustoe, Season 8 on NBC for the Premier League. Robbie Earle doesn't look a day older than he did in 2013. And then there's Robbie Mustoe as well. Gentlemen, good morning. It's lovely to see you. Everyone is super excited. Let's talk about what is coming up. What are you most excited about, Robbie Earle?
Well, we're excited and can't wait for the kick-off, Rebecca. But I was thinking about the managers and listening to the press conferences yesterday. And I'm kind of thinking as a manager, you're somewhere between pressure, hope and expectation. Let's talk about Jurgen Klopp. Want to go back-to-back. There's a hope that Liverpool can do that. But go down to Pep Guardiola at Manchester City. There's pressure on Pep. 18 points behind Liverpool. 9 defeats in the season. 1 League Cup. It's not good enough for Manchester City. They've got to be so much better. Chelsea, Frank Lampard, the talent that they've bought in that football club tells you that they are going to have to compete. And Frank interestingly said, I enjoyed pressure when I was a player and I'm enjoying the pressure when I'm manager. And I'm thinking, God, that's a tough gig. And then you look at Manchester United, Spurs and Arsenal, who've all got to go to what we call the next level, got to be competitive, new players coming into the football clubs. And then I even go to the teams that may think, well, we're reasonably safe. Let's say a Southampton, maybe a Crystal Palace, even Wolves, Sheffield United. At the start of last season, Watford and Bournemouth would have thought, we'll be OK. They're now in the Championship. Everywhere you look, there's pressure, hope and expectancy.
That is the Premier League. Every club has a story and there's pressure everywhere. What is the headline grabber for you?
For me, it's the other 4 of the top 6 and what have they done to close that gap on the top 2? We know about Man City, we know about the strengths of Liverpool. And as I look at the market right now, City and Liverpool haven't significantly strengthened their squad. So, OK, over to the other 4. North London, Spurs definitely will be better. Jose Mourinho, full pre-season, a short one, but he's got more time to work with the players. Arsenal winning the FA Cup and the Community Shield, they're going in the right direction. But when you look at Chelsea and Manchester United and what they could potentially do, it gets pretty exciting. United, Van der Beek, they brought in already a midfield player, very good player, great quality. Tremendous options for United now in midfield. And Jadon Sancho is very much on their radar. If they bring him in, they'll be even better going forward. And Chelsea is the big story from the summer of the market. So many top international players coming in. If City and Liverpool drop off in any way and United and Chelsea can get their stuff together, we might just have a 4-horse race for the title.
Rob, does this make the Premier League tougher, a better league than it was last season? And in some respects, can't afford a bad start.
Well, they can't afford a bad start because of the way that Liverpool started last year. But I think the top 6, the traditional top 6, is what drives this league. And when they are better or nearing their peak, if you like, we do get a better league. I feel this year, Rebecca, it's going to be a more competitive, more just a fascinating challenge at the very top of the Premier League.
The neutral does not want somebody to run away with it, like what happened last season, is what you're saying. And let's also not forget, because the season's starting a month later, this is sort of a 10-month season now squished very much into 9 months, which will also up the ante in terms of the pressure on these players playing much more frequently. A few other updates to bring you as we head into the new season then, season 2020-2021. The weekly COVID-19 test will be continuing for players and for staff. The Premier League will release results after each round of testing, just like during Project Restart. The season will begin behind closed doors. The hope has been for fans to return from October the 1st, but the UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson said this week that those plans are being reviewed. In continuing the social justice conversation, players and officials will be wearing a No Room for Racism badge on their shirts throughout the season. What about substitutes? Well, we're back to using 3 subs and naming 7 players on the bench. During Project Restart, it was 5 subs and 9 players on the bench, but the clubs voted against that. They're back to normal, the 3 subs. No more mandatory water breaks. There will only be a cooling break were the temperature to reach 86 degrees, but in September in the UK, highly unlikely. And because of their progress in Europe over the summer, as I mentioned, both Manchester clubs have been given some extra time off. Their seasons don't begin until next weekend. A couple of important law and interpretation updates. Here we go. With regards to handball, the boundary between the shoulder and the arm is now defined as the bottom of the armpit, while accidental handball is only penalised if it occurs immediately before a goal or goal-scoring opportunity. And in terms of VAR, we should be seeing increased use of the pitchside monitors for subjective decisions. Penalties, by the way, will be retaken if the goalkeeper is completely off his line before the ball is kicked, and the assistant referees will be holding their flag for marginal offside offences. So if a goal is then scored, then VAR will review. Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch highlights all season long and tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend at 7 a.m. Eastern on NBCSN. And for more than 1,400 hours of exclusive Premier League content, make sure to visit NBCsports.com/gold.